Hey, and welcome to Internet Roundup.
Internet Roundup.
Wow. I think we should leave that in.
I think so too.
The Internet Roundup.
Internet Roundup. You got to switch the E and the U.
Well, I think the internet would be a lot more fun if it was the internet.
Yeah.
You know?
There are a lot of internets on the Roundup, you know what I mean?
Wow. That must mean it's Saturday morning.
Oh, it's cartoon time.
I got the thick tongue.
You know there's not cartoons on Saturday mornings any longer?
What? Really?
Yeah. There was a day in history that came within the last 3-4 years where it was the first Saturday since forever where there was not Saturday morning cartoons.
Like on the major networks?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, because now you can go to
Cartoon Network.
Right. I wasn't going to buzz market, but sure.
They're great. They're local.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. In a way, it detracts from the idea of a Saturday morning cartoon, you know?
Oh, yeah, man.
You can get them anytime. You don't have to wait.
We used to run downstairs and fight over the chair.
Yeah.
Like whoever could get there first.
Yeah.
Feed your head with cartoons. This
Good
is a great
ones,
start.
too.
Well, today is Explosion Day on Internet Roundup because both of our stories have to do with explosions. That's Josh sipping on his coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chuck. This thing's all out of whack.
I think it's going pretty much par for the course.
Right. All right, so I found this on the internet. It is the title, Indonesia literally just blowing up boats now. One of those wacky blog titles. It's not a New York Times title.
Literally just blowing up boats now.
Yeah, so what's going on in Indonesia is they have a couple of problems. One is that they're being overfished, and the other is that they believe that other countries are wading into their waters and fishing and stealing their fish.
Right.
Stealing?
If it's their waters
Yeah.
and the fish happen to swim into their waters, that's theft.
That is theft. So what are they doing?
Well, they are going and stopping the boats, the fishing boats, boarding them,
Yep.
arresting the people,
Yep.
taking them off the boats, taking the fishermen to the border,
Sure.
dropping them off, and then blowing up the boats.
Well, exploding the boats.
Yeah.
Like literally 220 boats have been blown up.
Like spectacularly.
Oh, yeah. Is
Like-
there any other way to do it?
This Jalopnik article says that it's like 1980s action movie
Yeah.
style, and the picture that they have really looks like it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like it does look like a Chuck Norris, like just something that happens every 3 to 5 minutes in a Chuck Norris movie.
I think he's running the program.
Well,
They brought
that
him
makes
over.
sense.
He's like, I've got an idea. Trust me. You ever seen Invasion USA? It works.
I saw this really great documentary on Golan Globus or Canon Films, and they made like Invasion USA and Death
right.
Wish like 2 to 5, and like just total schlock.
Yeah.
But like kind of earnestly. It's
Casey's nodding emphatically in the
great.
corner.
Have you seen the documentary? It's a really good documentary.
check
Chuck, you
that
got to
out.
see it.
So they say that this is working. The country's catch now has risen from 2.5 million tons of fish to 6.6 million, and apparently healthier stocks.
Yeah, that's working.
It seems like it's working, but the problem is, well, there's a few problems, but one of the problems is there's a lot of disputes going on in that part of the ocean as to whose sea that is.
Right.
China makes a claim,
Oh yeah.
so China might go in there with their map and think, "Hey, I'm in our waters," and before you know it, they're getting
Kaboom!
kaboomed, and at least they're removing the fishermen first. So,
Yeah, that's at the very least.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember when we did our Who Owns the Oceans episode?
yeah.
Well, territorial waters can extend pretty far. If you're in a densely packed archipelago,
Sure.
territorial waters are going to overlap, and it's a big problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if Indonesia starts doing this enough, China's going to do something about it for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not making them best pals when it comes to trade, I imagine.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
So the one I found, Chuck, that has to do with explosions has to do with an explosion that took place back in 79 CE.
There was never a 79 CE.
Yeah, there was.
Really?
Yeah, and something big happened in 79 CE. I think in August of 79.
That's right.
Back in the summer of 79.
I was just joking, by the way. That was when Mount Vesuvius blew up and covered Pompeii forever.
Yes. Well, not forever.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You, me, and I have walked
Good point.
around Pompeii. It's amazing.
I imagine 1599 was when it was rediscovered and pretty preserved for, something that old.
Right. So, speaking of old, this is pretty old news. Like everybody knows about Pompeii, right?
Sure.
Well, I found this awesome post on Open Culture. And Open Culture is basically just all of this amazing stuff that's either in the public domain or has been put online for free or whatever. Everything from like Norman Mailer reading his own work to like open course lectures on philosophy or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But this one, they got their hands on a video that was made, a computer animation that was made for an exhibit in Melbourne at a museum.
Yeah.
Several years ago. When was it? 2009?
Yeah, it was called A Day in Pompeii at the Melbourne Museum in 2009. And it's, as you can see, a pretty realistic recreation of that fateful day.
Right. Like I can feel the heat right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm drunk on wine.
It's scary. It looks like, we're either going in fast motion here or just showing, because they take it throughout the day, like 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m.
Right. And it just shows from this one static shot what it would have looked like when Vesuvius went kaboom.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I would like to see this at the exhibit. I imagine it wasn't on a little TV screen or above
no, they said
our
it was
dumb
like
heads.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably ruining it.
Pretty
right
much.
now,
Sorry for ruining it for you, everybody. But check out Open Culture. It's just like a site full of cool stuff like this.
Or find this video online and play it on your big fancy TV.
Well, first, get a big fancy TV, I guess.
That's step one.
Right.
Right. Well, you got to get a job.
Step
first.
one is take out a mortgage for
Right.
the big fancy TV.
Is that all you got today?
That's it.
All right. Big shout out to Open Culture. Good stuff.
And Jalopnik.
And Cartoon Network. And Pompeii.
Yeah.
They don't get their due. We'll see you next week on Internet Roundup.